Welcome back to Math, Module 1, Lesson 14 and 15, dividing decimals on a place value chart. Let's get started. We're going to take 4.33 and divide it by 3. That means we're going to take 4.33 and I'm going to show it to you on the chart, and we're going to divide it amongst 3 groups. 1, 2, and 3. How many should we put in the ones? 4, that's right. How many in the tenths? 3, right. And how many in the hundredths? We have 3. Now the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to erase them and put them into the places, okay? And then we'll go from there. So you have to pay attention carefully if you would. So if you need to draw this out first, stop the video and then draw it out, and then watch as they get erased and put in their places. I have 4 of them, and I'm going to put them into my groups. So I'm going to erase one, and I'm going to put one here. I'll erase another and put it here. I'll erase the next one, and I'm going to put it there. Now, each group has one thing, right? Can we put this one thing in these 3 groups? No, we can't. So what do? Well, we're going to move this guy over here. But when we move him over here, how many dots do we have then over here? Well, this one dot is going to make 10 dots in our tenths. Okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that one dot made 10 dots over here. Okay? And I'm going to erase that. Now you're thinking, I don't get it. Well, let me show you in an algorithm way and see if it makes sense, okay? So my first number goes on the inside of the house, so that'd be 4.33, right? And I'm dividing it by 3 people or 3 groups. That's why the 3's out here. Now I'm going to say, my daddy divide question would be, how many times does 3 go into 4? Or if I have 4 dots, how many dots can I put in each one? Well, I can only put 1 in, right? So this one is the same as that one right there. Okay? So now 3 times 1 is 3. Now I'm going to subtract, and that's going to leave me with 1. Do you remember I had 1 dot here that I moved over? Right? I have this 1 dot that I moved over, right? Now, what that means on this chart is when I bring this 3 down, how many do I have? I have 13, right? 13. Well, this 1 dot, when I move it over, this is 10. See the 1 right there? That's the 10. Get it? And then I had the 3 up there to begin with, right? So now I have how many dots? 10, 11, 12, 13. That's how I have my 13 right there. Does that make sense? So I'm going to take that guy away over here. Now I'm going to do what? I'm going to distribute these dots out in my groups. I'm going to distribute my dots into my groups, okay? So let's do that. Now here's where you want to watch, because I'm going to start erasing things, okay? Here we go. I'll erase the top dot and we'll put it there. Now it seems like this is kind of time consuming, and it is, but I want you to understand how this works with this and how they I get you to understand what's going on in the algorithm. Okay? So I'm going to erase 3 dots, and I'm going to put them in my 3 groups, okay? 1, 2, 3. Is that okay to do it that way? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now, how many dots do I have in here right now? I have 4. So I have 4. How many times do you think 3 would go into 13? 3 times what is close to 13? There's your clue. 3 times 4 is, that's right, 12. Now that's going to leave me with what? 1. What do I have here? I have 1 left over. I have 1 left over. Do you see that? Now, my dot here, when I move it over here, what's it going to become? So let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I get rid of this dot because I just moved them over there. How many dots do I have here? 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, because when I bring this 3 down, guess what? We're going to have 13, aren't we? See, we have 13 dots. 13 dots. 13. Now I'm going to distribute these out the same way I just distributed them in just a moment ago, okay? I'm going to take 3 at a time, okay? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I bet you already know what's going to happen. 1, 2, 3, right? How many dots do I have here? I have 4. What do you think is going to go up here? That's right, it's a 4. Do you see what's going on here? All right, so now if I did 3 times 4, it would be 12. And that would leave me with 1. I have 1 here, right? Hold on, I don't have any more numbers up here. I have a blank column, don't I? In the thousands place. So what do? Is there anything in here? No. What do I put over here? A 0. Hey, look at that. I have a 0 there. I could bring this down now, right? So when I move this guy over here, I'm going to have 10 items. So count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, what am I going to do? I get rid of my one that I moved over, right? And then I start moving them down here. So I'll take my 3 right there, and I'll put them in here. And then I'll take my next 3, and I'll move them down in my groups. So how many do you think I'm going to have? I'm going to have, how many do you think? 3. 3 times what is going to be close to 10? 3, huh? Good move. So 3 times 3 is 9, and so guess what? It's going to leave me with 1 remaining. This 1 remaining is the same as that 1 remaining. And I'm just going to stop right there because I just wanted to show you what's happening with this algorithm in the place value chart. Okay? One thing I forgot to tell you is move your decimal up. I usually do that first thing so I don't forget it. Luckily I remembered. So I'm just going to stop here. So my answer is going to be 1.1 4/10 and 4 hundredths and 3 thousandths, right? Or 443 thousandths. All right, so that's how to do this and how it relates to each other, okay? How about if we do another one? All right, I made up another problem, 3.5 divided by 2. Okay, I have my 3, and how many tenths do I have to have here? I need to have 5, right? Okay. So let's distribute them. How many groups do we have? We have 2 groups. So we need to put our 1 here and our second group there, right? All right, let's distribute them out. I'm going to take my 2 dots from here. I'm going to put 1 here and 1 here. So I've distributed my 3 dots, right? My 3 dots to 2 groups. What do I have left? I have 1 left. So if I move this guy over to here, how many dots do I have to put over here? I need to put 10, right? I've kind of run out of room. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so I put 10 dots in there. And he's now no longer here, right? So let's show that on our algorithm over here. 2 times what is close to 3? We would say 1. Be our 2. Going to subtract, leave us with 1. Bring up the decimal. Okay, all right. Now we have 1 thing left over. We had 1 thing left over, and then we moved it over here. How many dots do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now bring our 5 down, and it makes 15. You see? 15 dots, 15 here. Okay, now we're going to take these and move them down, okay? I'm going to move 2 at a time. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. What do I have? I have 1 left over. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 7, right? 2 times 7, if we put a 7 up on top there, 2 times 7 is what? 14, right? And it leaves us with 1. We have 1 here. We have 1 remaining here. Oh my, what do? Well, we can add, guess what? There's nothing here, is there? So we can add a 0 next to the 5, and that's doing what? We bring it down. What do we have? 10. And when we move this one over here, how many dots do we put? 10, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And this guy's gone, right? Because we moved him over there. So now we have 10 dots here. We have 10 here. 2. How many 2s? Wow, I bet you can see that already. How many 2s are in 10? That's pretty funny. Because we could just take these guys, well, we could take these guys like this and move this one down here, and take these guys like this and move him down here. And how many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So 2 times 5 is 10. And we subtract this, and it leaves us with 0, right? 2 times 5 is 10, leaves us with 0. We have nothing remaining up here, and we've done our problem. So our answer to 3.5 divided by 2 is what? 1.75. Do you see how we got that? 1, we have 1 in the ones. Here's our decimal point. How many do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And how many in the hundredths? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1.75 is the same as this 1.75, which is the same as this 1.75. And do you see why we added a 0? It's like making another column so we can get rid of all of our remainders. Okay? I hope you've enjoyed this lesson. I hope it makes sense to you. I love math.